It's week 8 of the college football season. The season is going by very fast.
Too fast.
Too fast, some might say.
Too fast.
For me right now, I think the game is moving a mile a minute, and I kind of want it to slow down because I'm not seeing the board good on pod. I'm not seeing the board good off pod, and it has me just I'm conflicted. Kendrick Lamar, I remember you was conflicted.
I'm settling in. This is right when I told you 2 weeks ago I was getting nervous. I said I didn't like the week. I said I took some time away from the board
Yeah.
and it resettled me. It zenned me, if you will.
hmm
And I felt good last week. I felt good the week before. I feel great this week. I got a pretty heavy card this week.
I might
Very,
have a mega card. There's reports I have a mega card.
it seems like we're going to be dropping units.
Okay. Were we
Seems
going
like we're
back?
going to be pulling out just enough to win, but we might pull out a little more. But before we go into the week that is, let's go into the week that was. You know what? A very workman-like week for the boys. Last week, actually, I crushed. I don't know what I'm saying. Why am I underselling myself? I destroyed the board last week. 4-1-1. West Virginia got me on the push, or I would have been 5-1-1. But let's go through Yinzer and baby. UCLA +5 winner. Mizzou -16 first half winner. Ohio State -3 couldn't get there loser. LSU +7 and West Virginia over 44. That was my push. I actually won a half unit on that, so technically a push. Half unit winner. Washington over 13 and a half. Vandy over 13 and a half. Didn't deserve to win, but I did anyway. Better be lucky than good. Texas -13 and a half. 1 unit winner. The Dimes man. Mizzou -20 and a half winner. EMU loser. San Jose State loser. UL Monroe 2 unit winner. And Washington State -3 and a half winner. Frank's digital girlfriend, the AI bot, went 1-4. She is dumped. She is off the show.
She's
She
off.
has been unplugged forever. Go back to her. Unbelievable. 1-4. I'm not even going to recap the picks.
Yeah, it's funny you say she's unplugged because before we got on here, I said this. I sent her a message.
Yeah.
I said, my friend Ben Brenniger, who lives in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Yeah.
is afraid of AI. What is
No,
something I can tell him to calm his fears?
not afraid of it. It's
The
one and
first thing
four.
it said was memory updated. So now it knows I have a friend, Ben Brenniger,
It's
who
great.
lives in Cincinnati.
It's fine.
And it says, you could tell Ben that AI is a tool just like any other, designed to assist and enhance human creativity and productivity, not replace it. You can't explain how it helps in everyday tasks.
Yeah.
And humans control how AI works.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's really like I'm not in a relationship with AI. I'm in a relationship with the human controlling the AI.
next time I want to go 20%, I'll fucking talk to your girlfriend. So next time I'm really hankering for that. So embarrassing all around. 1-4. I have no time for this bot machine digital entity. I don't care. It's a loser. Flush it. Jabroni. Go out into the real world. Go fuck some skin, Frank. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
1-4. 1-4. Disgusting.
Listen, I
But
did better. I did better than her. I made more than her.
you did. You did. As nature's order should be. All right.
Exactly.
The Dimes man is sitting at 5.5 units, 3-2 last week. Still was up a unit, so nothing to complain about. Yinzy F baby is sitting at 8 units, 4-1-1, up 3.5 units. So we are sitting at a combined. Let's do the math. Why do we need AI? 13 and a half units, just shy of 14. All right, we'll take it. So week 8, we're up 13 and a half units. It's nothing to complain about. We're not going to do a full pat on the back, but maybe a gentleman's clap, maybe a
Yep.
golf clap. We're
Yep.
on the green in 3. Nothing wrong with that. So there's a lot of pods out there. I don't know many pods are though that are up 13 and a half units. So maybe we
And we're up
should
13 and a half, but I feel like I still suck.
maybe our expectation for greatness is a little higher than everybody else's. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, it's like I'm coming off of a 40 unit season where I myself probably had dang near 30 of it almost. 20,
Comparison is the theft of joy, Mr. Dimes.
I
Have your AI
guess.
bot teach you that. Probably won't. Probably won't. But you know what? We're going to bury it because we're all about looking forward. Another great week. But can we just take a break and just how great was the fucking football last weekend? I mean, it lived up to the
The
billing. It was
football, the
great.
football was excellent last
The
week, and you know
football was
what? I gotta say something.
say it, buddy.
I think the football this week's gonna be even better.
I
I
love that.
think it's gonna be even better.
This is going to be a great weekend. I feel like Georgia Texas kind of snuck up on us. Like I
I
was not
did.
expecting this game. It was like it was kind of like you're kind of pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting it.
Speaking of pleasantly surprised, not to like tease or anything here, I got some P4 picks. I got power football picks later. I'm
That's
seeing it.
unbelievable. The text I get from my friends after they listen to the pod, they're like, "I love the pod. I love the Dimes, man. When's he gonna give me a game I can watch that's not on Fubo? When's he, like a shaky high school cam stream? People want to
Oh
bet
yeah.
on it. Okay, wow.
Oh
This
yeah.
I almost had to. I think you broke me for a second. I think that's for someone speechless on the entire pod. So P4 picks. Wow. Um, that's incredible. That's some good news. So before we get into that, I do want to do a little debrief. I feel like I'm you. I feel like I've had some trauma this weekend, this
Okay.
past week. I feel like I'm like the TikTok girl that like accidentally like fucked around and now I have like a big girl job. Now I'm important. Now like what I do at
Really?
work affects yes. Like now like I feel like one week like I used to just be like I come into work, I do what I want, then I go home. Now I realize like what I do actually affects people's lives. Like I've had
Well, I think
not
what you do has affected people's lives from the jump.
oh
I
I
think when you're going into minority neighborhoods and you're being like unhousing them, I think that might.
no one defeats Father Time. That's gentrification, baby. It's a wave. I'm just one little speck. I'm just one little water drop.
Okay.
But here's what I'm talking about. So like usually you go to work, like at your job, is there anything you could do that could get somebody else fired?
No.
Like, do you have the power to fire somebody?
No.
Okay.
No.
I found out by accident I do. Didn't know that.
Oh no.
Didn't know that. Didn't
Who
know
did
I
you get
had that.
deported? What
Didn't
maintenance
know.
person? What maintenance person did you get
And I love
deported?
my maintenance. They didn't do that. No, this is
Yo
a
no
quick.
say. Yo no say.
This is a blouse. This is a blouse. These are blouse wearing people. These are khaki wearing people. So
Okay.
what I've learned is part of my job is basically like I've fired people before. I've worked at jobs where I've had to. You ever had to fire somebody?
No.
I've had to fire. I've probably had fired five, six people.
Okay. How are
It's
those
never.
convos?
It's never. It you know quick to the point. You ever watch like Hard Knocks and they had to cut somebody?
Yeah.
I
Turn
feel
in your
like
playbook. Coach wants to see you.
exactly. You got to do it quick. Have you ever been fired?
No.
Neither have I. I've never been fired. I've never
But
been
I would want
fired.
someone to be like, hey, here's the deal. Here's what's going on.
It's that's what you got to do. You don't want to do any flowery language. I feel like the first time I did it, I was like, you know, you're trying to explain, and then they ask questions, and then you're like, well, you know, HR. No, he's got to go quick to the point. So the roundabout way I'm getting is like now I've realized that when I do things, like when they ask me to make suggestions for something, so usually I think like they're like, all right, Ben, you're gonna go in, take a look at this. I'm trying to be intentionally vague. They're like,
Sure.
take a look at this, you know, make suggestions, do this, and I'll make this big report. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this suggestion, I'm going to make this. Little do I know, these suggestions can lead to people losing their jobs. It's insanity. You don't
Oh.
know yes, you think you're just sending in PowerPoints. What I'm really doing is just like a guillotine. So it's like, it's pretty insane. So it's like this is your first big boy job. It's like actually what you do matters. It's pretty weird. It's a weird feeling because you think of yourself like I perpetually think of myself as like a 15-year-old idiot. Like I'm working at like a
Yeah,
garage.
I've always wondered that as somebody yourself who's significantly older than me, I can just can't
Significantly.
I just
I'm like
can't
2 years older
emphasize
than you.
how much older you are than me.
You're like I'm like 2 years older than you.
How old are you?
What year were you born in?
I was born in the 90s.
You were born in the 90s?
Yeah.
I was born in 91.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're gonna put that gun right in your mouth tonight. Enjoy that.
Anyways, you're significantly older than me.
There you go. That's what helps you sleep, buddy.
I was curious if like not to get weird, but I was curious if you still have like the same like internal feeling. Like every now and again I have that feeling where I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do remember the way I felt when I was a kid." Do you have that or is it like error 404 in your brain?
I feel like guys never progress past like 15 mentally. I feel like they can. I feel like they can turn it on. I feel like they can turn it on, but like at any point, like I almost have to reset my brain. Like when I'm out places, I'm like, like when people ask how old I am, I'm like, I'm like 22.
Yeah.
No, I'm an
Yeah.
old fucking man, dude. Like I'm old, bro. Like I feel old, but like when I see shit, like I'll see somebody like hooping, like I'll see somebody hooping, I'm like, oh, I can go run that. I'm like, no, I cannot. I gotta go stretch for an hour to maybe play for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No, like, dude, it's but like it's just weird to think like now like what you're doing, like you have a house, you have a job, you have shit that like matters to other people. You can't just like fuck off and go do what you want. I'm like, it's kind of a
See,
weird
this is
feeling.
why I'm never getting in a relationship. I would like to do whatever I want to do forever.
See, see, how old are you? Because I
28.
see, I was doing the same thing you were doing at 28. See, I was
Okay.
doing the same thing you were doing at 28. I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted, going out every weekend.
I don't
If we
go
wanted
out
to
though.
go, how do you live in New York and not go out?
I go to comedy clubs, but I don't like go out to drink. I don't drink.
We'll fix that. Do you know I'm coming to New York in December?
For what?
I'm coming to see you for like 5 days.
You're not for 5 days.
Yeah, I'm coming to see you for 5 days.
What do you mean see me?
Yeah, we're gonna hang out every day.
For 5 days.
Clear your schedule.
Oh my God.
Yeah, thought you'd miss me. Thought that I didn't. That wasn't quite the reaction I wanted, but whatever.
I'm
Fine,
seeing you in November.
whatever. What, can I only see you once a year now?
Yeah. You're like the family member that I choose to see because I don't really
I,
see my family.
that's fine. I'm gonna post a bunch of fun selfies in New York, and I just won't. I won't message you, and you'll be very hurt when that happens. It'll be me outside
Speaking
the.
of family, I'm speaking of family and like family you don't talk to. Um, as you get older, and again, you're significantly older than me. As you
Significantly,
get
but you use
older,
that term very loosely.
as
Like
you get
vastly loose
older,
with that term.
it's weird for me now because people are finally starting to do it. It's weird to see people that I was friends with turn into the people that they despised.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
makes no sense to me. Like
You,
how are you as somebody who I came up with playing soccer from the time before even school started to the time senior night and even played in college for fun. And
you'll
now you're like a full-on conspiracy theorist and it makes no sense to me.
You'll see, listen, you'll see. Usually people go like one of three ways. They're either going to stay the same, they're
Okay.
going to turn into their partner, or they're just going to make a hard turn to something they never were. So it's usually it's one of three
Wow.
things. So it's either going to become their partner. I feel like I'm the same person I was. Like if you knew me, I feel like if you talked to somebody that knew me when I was like 15, I'd be like, he's probably the same guy.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. I don't think I've changed very much.
Yeah.
But I do know people where like I talk to them and I'm like, if you met that dude 12 years ago, it was not even the same person.
Right.
And I also know dudes that get married and I'm like,
Well,
that
you know, the
yeah,
wife, she wants
it's
to.
but and it's like I said, it's a natural evolution. So I think it's like it's one of those things you do notice as you get older, and it's like people have kids, things change, priorities change. I feel like it's can you get back to that? Can you get back to that zone? Like when you're with your boys, can you tap back into that? Or is
Yeah.
it gone forever? You don't have
Yeah.
to pull it out. Like, is it still there? Do you still have that gear? I feel
I
like I can always get back there.
You do. You do. And I've been
I feel like
around you.
I
I've
can
been
reach
around
back and
you.
hit like 98, 99 a few times. I can't go 7 innings. I can get you two
No.
in the third.
I've been with you before you were in this relationship
Yeah.
and during while you were in this relationship. You've been the same guy, which
Ain't nothing
I
changed with the change.
there we go.
Ain't nothing changed with the change. Nah, dude. I feel like, and I agree with you. That is one thing I do despise. I feel like obviously people got to change. You have to grow up, but it's like,
Like I had a guy who I deemed normal.
yeah,
Now
of
normal's it's all relative. But he
course.
said, and I quote, they killed him. To which me and my friend responded, who? He said, they killed Kobe. Who is they? He thought because he was talking about like medicine or like drugs or something like that,
Yeah.
that like the big pharma had his helicopter taken down.
See,
That's what and they believe these things.
those are always the people I give a nice like long lead to because I'm like, where does this go? And I'm just like, I'll just be like, huh,
Huh.
come on. Let me see where this goes.
Yeah, you do want to ingest that sort of thing. You find that stuff interesting. It makes me sad, but you're like, how stupid are you?
Dude, no, I like to just because I'm like I just like to see where this is going because I like to try to like it's like a movie for me. I like to see like how we got there
Yeah.
to like we're going. And it usually goes back to a certain group of people, but that's fine. I usually like it's like a guessing game for me, and it's like the Kevin Bacon game. It's like, oh, how do we get to that group? And I'm like, how do we connect the dots? And I usually get there before them, and I'm
Well,
like,
speaking of that group, I mean,
yeah,
you got you have an elected official in your state who's tweeting things like, they control the weather.
is that
That's
Vance?
huh?
Vance?
No, not Vance.
Uh,
Marjorie.
oh yeah.
How did that's an elected official. What happened to the game I love? And I use that as a joke, but like,
Yeah.
what? That's weird to me.
Internet's a wild place, dude. Listen, Trump just broke everything. Trump he
That's
said whatever he
honestly,
wanted.
that's probably it. But we
He
don't, we
did.
don't, we're
You
we're
just
gonna
say whatever you
lose
want
a
now.
quarter of our viewers. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I have a couple things I want to talk about. I have some notes here of like jokes I'm working on, and I want to run ideas by you.
Run 'em
I
by
th
me,
I
baby.
think it'd be fun. All right, so the number one
Yeah.
is Pride Night at Major League Baseball games.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me because you can tell how the majority of that fan base thinks based whether or not your team has a Pride Night or not.
Hmm.
So the Mets had Pride Night. It was a success.
Oh,
The
sounds like a
Reds,
success.
the Reds and the Braves, they did not do Pride Night.
Reds didn't do a Pride Night?
Reds didn't, at least I don't think so. But
Okay. The Braves
the
aren't doing a Pride Night.
the Braves are not. And
Braves are not doing it.
The Tampa Bay Rays did a Pride Night, and a couple of the players decided we're not wearing the rainbow
Yeah.
hats. Hey,
Yeah.
buddy, your hat is already a sunshine. Your hat is
Right.
already a sun ray. That's,
Mhm.
you know, and not only that, baseball itself is kind of gay if you think about it. And here's why.
Let's hear it.
Baseball is the only sport where three-quarters of the way through the event, the entire audience stands up and sings a musical number, and then you resume
True.
the game.
It's true. It's
Name
true.
another sport where you're singing a musical, Take Me Out. Nobody
Very
does that.
theatrical. Very
Yeah,
theatrical.
very theatrical.
Very.
There's a whole
I
thing.
mean,
Okay, so that's an idea. Good to know that that got nothing.
are you gonna work in God punishing the Rays by ripping off their building? Gonna work in that little punishment angle?
Drop the top, closer to
He
God.
did. He did.
What else? You ever see or hear a homeless person you ever see a homeless person wear something and you're like, how'd they get that?
I love that. That's one of my favorite things. I've told you I've had a lot of conversations with homeless dudes and they usually yell slurs at me, which is fine. But I've had some wild conversations with homeless dudes. I feel like I'm a target for them.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
inviting.
Yeah.
I had one of my first experiences in New York, I was on the train and this homeless guy was sitting like on the corner, like, like chatting to himself about nothing. But
Yeah.
I related to him so hard because he was talking about, I think, a bet that he made or like a sporting
Mhm.
event that was probably such a bad beat, it sent him into a spiral.
He went back on the streets.
Like it was such a bad beat, he became a crackhead. Like he was like rocking back and forth in the chair on the subway, and he just kept saying, "It was 6 points, right, to the Sonics." Damn, he just kept saying that over and over again. I don't know if he's talking about like a 1995 loss that the Knicks had against the Sonics, where they lost by
Fucking his head.
6. But I think that sent that guy into a tailspin.
See, I feel like I went the other way. I was at a coffee shop on Saturday and I was out there. I was with so my girlfriend ran a half marathon on Saturday. I was
There
with
you
her
go.
friends. Yeah, shout out 13.1, not a big deal. And I was with her friends, went to buy drinks, and I was like, you know what? I'll buy their drinks because I'm a gentleman and I've
Nice.
got it like that.
Yeah,
Stats.
it ain't
I'm
tricking
talking to
if
her. And
you
they're like, you
got
don't have
it.
to buy it. And I'm like, listen, it's Saturday. I'm about to print money today. And I was like, it's Saturday. I'm about to print money with these bets. And this guy at the counter laughed. And I was like, you think it's funny? Missouri, minus 16 and a half first half. Why don't you do it? Buy your lady something nice. And he looked at me and said, what was that? I said, Mizzou first half, 16 and a half. And I saw him pull out his notes app and write it down. So that man either became very profitable or I started him on a journey of degeneracy.
Yeah,
And maybe he'll end up in the gutter. Maybe he's going to chase that high for the rest of his life.
that'd be
Could
nice.
have plugged the pod, did it. Went into the business for myself.
We'll find, listen, people will find the pod eventually. I'll pop off, they'll find it and be like, God, listen to what he was saying. And
You'll
then I'll
get
get fired. It'll be a whole thing.
you'll get a spot on the Tonight Show and immediately get canceled, and then
Yeah,
I'll blow up. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic for me. Great
that'll
for
be
me.
fine. All right, let's get into this week's
I'll leave
picks.
you in the dust.
I got a, I got a big card. I got a big card. My card is showing, but I am not on the tee. Yinzer, it is tea time. You get the
Thank
first
you.
swing.
I appreciate that. It's been a great comeback for me. Pause. And I'm going to start off with keep going back to the well. West Virginia stinks.
Oh boy.
I don't even need to talk about it. What are we going to do to stop Kansas State? You know what? Kansas State's probably going to win by more than 7. We're only laying 3, but at least we'll have fun.
Hey,
At
yeah,
least we'll
we're gonna
have
have a.
fun
They're gonna
tailgating.
have a lot of fun in the blue lot.
Neil, I hope you have fun in the unemployment line. Kansas State -3 just for 1 unit because why do I want to profit off pain? But no, no way.
I think Neil
We're
Brown goes to Appalachian State after this year
whatever.
because they're going to fire their coach probably. And
He'll
Neil's a
he'll
good
do great
G5.
there. He'll do great there.
I know he will.
Give me K-State -3, 1 unit.
Okay. I got a line that could be deemed a trap.
Let's hear it. Of
This is a G5,
course it
but
is.
I got 2 units on it. And I've been watching these guys for the past few weeks, and I really, really like the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. And they're laying 4-point favorites on the road at Coastal Carolina. Coastal's not a crazy barn. Listen to this. Last 3 games for Louisiana: 34 points, 23 points, 41 points, 33 points, 34 points, 40 points. These guys put up numbers from the Raging Cajuns. They have a quarterback who is, I think, 26 years old. Either way, he needs a job. But in the time being, he's crushing G5 opponents. So let's go Raging Cajuns, 2 units.
2 units. Oh, that is -4. That is quickly climbing. That's -4.5 in almost every book but one. So get it now. I can still get you a 4 though. All
Yes,
right.
on Caesars.
It is on Caesars. You are correct, sir. My next play is give me the Michigan over 43.5. Michigan, Illinois over 43.5.
Okay.
Illinois, absolutely terrible against the run. Michigan can be gashed. Pause. Illinois, I feel like can put up almost 17-20 on anybody. I think Michigan is going to find some easy running lanes in this. I don't think this is going to soar over. I love this when it was at 42. That 43.5 kind of scares me. I thought about buying it down. But I think we see some tempo in this game. I don't know who's going to be behind center for Michigan, but I think both these teams can get in 20s. Look for this to be like a 27-24, 27-21 game. I'm not going to pick a side. I'll give you the total 1 unit over 43.5. If it fades back to 42, I might have added another unit, but it's the
Yeah.
name of the game we play right now.
I got a big card. So
I got
I,
6.
I,
I got
I'll,
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I got 5. Go ahead, buddy.
I have a huge card.
You're huge.
Huge. All right. This we're going to go back to the well one last time.
Okay.
Okay, we got Rutgers -4.5 at home against UCLA. UCLA making that cross country flight to Piscataway. That
Yep.
is a noon kick in Jersey. The body clocks. UCLA, the body clock game. Listen,
Units.
one. Rutgers has only scored like 14 points these
Yeah.
past 2 weeks. And I was on Rutgers last week and well on off pod and I
Yep.
saw how they were getting no push up front and I put 4 units on whiskey to cover the number and they did. But
You did.
we believe in the Shiano men this week. 1 unit.
All right. I feel like this is the team that's been they let me down 1 week, but I've been riding them hard the rest. Give me Missouri -4.5. I think they finally figured everything else out. We knew last week. I mean, it's UMass. It's not something that something could be shocking. But guess what the opening line for this game was? Look at the look ahead line for this game was. Do you know what it was?
No.
It was 13.
Oh
Now it's
man.
down to 4.5. So in between these couple weeks, you're telling me I can almost get an extra 7 points. I think Mizzou wins by a touchdown at least. I think Auburn stinks. Give me Missouri at home. Another get right game. I think they figured everything out. I think UMass game gave some confidence. I think Missouri covers this by double digits. I think the original spread was right. So give me Missouri
Okay.
-4.5, 1 unit all day.
All right. This next one I have, we're finally taking some candy. I feel like I've been taking a lot of favorites. We're taking a dog.
Okay.
Taking a dog here. Um, Listen, Clemson looks good. Do they look 4 scores good? We're going to find out on Saturday at high noon. 21.5. Give me Virginia. Anthony Colandrea is going to lead us to a 21-point loss.
That defense scares me for Clemson. They have been clamping up
They
people.
really have.
That
One
is
unit.
that is one you might be holding on for dear life.
Hey, we're starting off with a 21.5-point lead. Can we hold it?
It's true. All right.
The hook
Give
is
me
important there, by the way. The hook, the hook, the hook. Can't
that. I
stress that
got
enough.
you. I got you the hook. That hook's still out there. This next one you can find on DraftKings. It's actually -110 right now. It is Alabama over 3.5 touchdowns. -110. I think it's 110 or 115 right now. Keeps fluctuating between it. Give me that for 1 unit. I think this is easily going to be the best offense Tennessee's faced. Easily. I kind of like playing the total, but I'm kind of worried that Alabama or this game might start out a little slow, but I think Alabama's going to turn on at the end. I just need Alabama to get to 4 touchdowns. That's one per quarter, baby. You're telling me that Milrow can't do that against this defense? I think Tennessee's defense is getting carried against that Oklahoma game. That was really Oklahoma is just terrible. Give me 4 tutties. That is just one quarter. I don't give a piss about nothing but
I like
one
that.
TD per quarter. Give me that for 1 unit.
I like that. I like that. I got a road favorite, 9.5 point favorite. I got the James Madison Dukes going to Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern won their Anxiety Bowl last week. That was the Clay Helton versus Charles Huff and Marshall. Marshall really blew that game. Credit to Georgia Southern coming all the way back, storming back and picking up a victory at home. That goes back to FCS days. That used to be a big 1AA rivalry. It's cool to see them play again. But we like James Madison this week. They gave up 7 to Coastal last week. They did lose to Louisiana Monroe earlier in the season, but we love. I mean, Monroe is that's night and day difference, like what that team was last year and what it is this year. They gave up 7 points to Ball State. They scored 70 on UNC. I mean, they gave up 7 points to Charlotte, 6 points to Gardner Webb. These guys are legit, man. Legit.
Yep.
Both sides of the ball. They can score and stop you. What do you want?
All right. I got two more parlays left, and I'm going to start out with my 1 unit parlay. This is my California redemption parlay. Give me Cal at home. Give
Okay.
me USC on the road. We got teams going different directions. They're both going to end up with a W. USC's not losing another game, not to Maryland. This Maryland team is not very good.
They're
USC should have
not.
won last
They're
week.
not. That's what scares me because I
Yep.
looked at that and they're not favored by a ton, and that scares me.
7. Yeah, I think it's just a combination of just lots of travel, lots of body blows, but I think they still have enough in the tank. They definitely have not quit. I feel like this USC team still has the offensive talent. They still have the speed to get it done against Maryland. And then NC State going to Cal. This Cal team, they're scrappy. Tough game against Pitt. Pitt is legitimately good, unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say. But
No,
give me
they
that
are
money
good.
line parlay. That is around even money. Give me that for 1 unit. And the California Redemption parlay just sounds good.
I like that. I got three more plays.
Give me two, and then We'll go 2 for 1.
All of these three are the exact same thing, but just like different teams, obviously. Um, they're all can they prove it?
Okay.
It's all can they prove it? Okay, because they all have shown us something last week, and I know in college football, just as regular football, you're not going to get the same team each week.
No.
But can we at least somewhat replicate the success we had? So for that reason, I'm taking LSU on the road at Arkansas, -2.5, under a field goal. That LSU defense looks legit. The Arkansas does not have the same weapons that Ole Miss has. And I was just really, really impressed with the fact that they got taken to the wire last week and they still came out on top.
I looked hard at that game. Didn't
Yeah.
make the card, but I looked hard. All right, what's your next one?
The next one is the can they prove it game, also in the SEC. Vanderbilt -25.5 at home against Ball State. You are riding high. You're riding so high, highest the program has ever ridden before. And you are playing a bottom 10 team in college football in Ball State, who just got taken to the wire against Kent State, which is one of the bad beats of all time if you were on that.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy -25.5. Can they get me to 27-28?
All right, this is my final play, and this one I don't understand the slide movement at all. At all, I don't understand the slide movement. I feel like it should be going the other way. So I'm going to get it right now while it's good, and I will be playing this money line, and I'll be playing this straight up. Give me my alternate lines parlays. I think I'm about 6-2 on the year. I'm crushing these. 2 unit parlay. Give me Georgia up to 10.
I knew that was
Give
coming.
me South Carolina up to 7.5. I feel like both of these could win outright. I feel like Georgia, this should be a pick 'em game. I just don't understand. Maybe I'm the last person on earth that has given up on Georgia and doesn't see what Texas can do. Texas, good wins. They're looking good. Good offense. Georgia looked a little shaky. I still believe in Kirby. He's pushing quarterbacks. He's getting ready to go. He's still mad. Georgia's still driving those Hellcats a buck 30, a buck 40 down
There we
Athens.
go.
if you're telling me that I can get Georgia at 5.5 and I can bump that up to 7.5 at like minus 135, in unbelievable value. But I can get a damn near plus money parlay at Georgia plus 10, South Carolina plus 7.5. Give me that all day. I think South Carolina wins outright. Oklahoma still missing those wide receivers. Body blow after body blow against Texas.
You
I
think they
think
run
South
out
Carolina.
Jackson Arnold? Do you think they give him one last chance at quarterback? If they do, they might lose.
I think Oklahoma's on severe. So I mean, it's a 1.5 point game, so it's isn't even a big upset.
Right.
But give me that 7.5 for comfort. Give me UGA plus 10. If I had to play a lean, the lean right now is Georgia plus 5.5. I think that's insane value. It's insane. I think there's a greater than 70% chance that Georgia wins this game. A 6.5 is a way bigger implication than that. So for sure. But give me your last pick, and then we'll do a quick recap.
On the road in East Lansing, they put up 40 points last week. Iowa minus 5.5. Can they get it done? This is those three picks, LSU, Vandy, and Iowa. You showed me something last week. Can you replicate it at all? That's the big question. We know what they can do. We know what they can do. They can suffocate you on defense and ground and pound on offense. Look, aside from the Ohio State game, and Ohio State showed that they're one of the best teams in the country. I still think they are, and I had Oregon the whole way in that. There were some questionable calls. I digress.
Yeah.
Listen, this season, Iowa, 40 points, 19 points, 38 points, 31 points, 7, and
Yep.
40. They can score.
I've been riding. Iowa overs have been sneakily one of my plays all year. They have been one of the slowest things for the books to adapt to. I've been riding. I think I had an Iowa over play last week. That was one of my plays last week.
Yeah,
I had Washington. Iowa is letting teams score and they're scoring. They're moving it. That running back is unbelievable.
he's awesome.
Um,
Cade
so
McNamara looking solid.
yeah, getting the ball where it needs to be. So nothing wrong with that. Real quick, because I'm just gonna put your feet to the fire. I'm gonna
Oh
make you
boy.
pick
Oh
against the
boy.
spread.
Oh
Georgia,
boy.
Texas, who you taking? I'm not putting it on the card. People just want to see you pick P5, P4.
It is funny that the line opened at 1.5, and now it's look ahead line, and now it's 4. I can get 4.5.
You can
I'm
get
right.
five and a half.
I can get 4.5 because I'm going with the horns, baby.
You're taking the horns.
I'm going with Texas.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going with Texas. I think home environment.
You
You
want to
don't
put it on
want
the
to.
card and do a fight? You want to go against a little fight?
Well, what we got different numbers though. You're doing like an alt spread parlay, and
No,
I
no, no.
have.
It's four. There's 5.5s on the board.
All right. Well, I'm taking 4.5. You can take 5.5.
Okay.
Whole point difference. I hope.
Point
I hope.
difference.
I hope there's. I hope it's 5. I hope they win by 5.
If it's five, I don't even know.
We both win. If
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 it's five,
if Tex
we both out a unit. All right, I'm gonna add Texas
minus
minus
4.5.
1 unit, and I'm gonna add UGA plus 5.5, 1 unit. And if it hits five, we both win.
That'd be
We're both
so
winners.
awesome.
That would be pretty sick. All right, we'll do
What are
that.
your
Okay.
thoughts? What are your thoughts? Not to look ahead.
Yeah.
Uh, we had West Virginia soccer be ranked number 1 in the country and immediately lost 4-0 last night, or no, 4-1 last night. That was bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Didn't catch it. Didn't catch
so
it.
I caught it. We got
Didn't
Mets
catch it.
baseball on right now. We got W basketball starting soon. Knicks basketball starting soon.
Yep.
Let me ask you this:
Yep.
if you think this is too far, as you know, everybody I cheer for is cursed.
Yeah.
If the
Sounds
Mets
like it.
win, if the Mets win this championship,
Hmm.
I might not care about sports ever again.
When did you become a Mets fan?
2006.
Why?
Got family vacation. My dad won seats from his job. We sat right behind home plate, seat A1 at Shea Stadium.
The problem is you cheer for the Pirates, though, too.
I worked for the Pirates too.
I feel like you got to have one team. We can't have two
Okay, well, I
teams.
live in New York and I go to Mets games. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. I feel like you can't have that much passion. Can't have it.
Okay.
I feel like that's like you can't write a love story and then get married 3 more times. Can't do it.
I'm not
You
married
can't.
3 times. I'm married to the Mets. I'm married to Mrs. Met, and she's thick and she's real.
Mrs. Met is pretty thick.
Yeah, that's what I
That's true.
thought.
You may have swayed me on the thickness of Mrs. Met. Oh wow. Oh,
Back when the Mets were terrible, the ongoing joke in baseball was that she was hooking up with all the other mascots.
that's dirty work.
Nasty
That's a,
work.
na- that's a
Mr.
nasty
Met had to
joke.
sit there and watch it. Speaking of the Reds and their mascot is just like a cheap version of Mr. Met.
Yeah, and they have a female Mrs. Met. I think it's like they have a chick whatever
Mrs.
they
Red or something like that.
yeah,
Dude,
she's a
you know what
Met,
I
yeah.
realized is that we still have to go to Cincinnati to watch this terrible West Virginia team.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
I have to go do that.
We have to do it. It's gonna happen. You'll be here in less than 3 weeks.
I still have to buy my flight. I'm still thinking of I think I might wear a costume to the game,
What are you thinking?
like Beetlejuice or something,
It'll be like 2 weeks after a week and a half after Thanksgiving or Halloween.
or bag on my head.
Bag's always classic.
Bag's always
It
classic.
always plays. It never doesn't play.
Yeah.
Never doesn't
Hashtag
play.
brown out.
The brown eye.
Like it's a start treating him like a British soccer coach.
I love that.
Absolutely disgraceful. Brown
I think
eye.
I think me and you should just host a special like panel show. It'll be like me, you, and Kate Abdo in the parking lot, just like talking about Neil Brown like an EPL game. I'd love that. It'd be
I think
great.
that'd be sweet.
I'd be like,
We get our one friend who's Lebanese to be like Thierry Henry.
yeah,
He's our resident like foreign like
yeah. It's like
consultant.
him. We'll get like we'll see what like Frank Lampard's doing. We'll get the whole crew here. Like,
I
what's
think
going on?
that'd be dope.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Why not us?
Are you are you gonna wear your cowboy hat and overalls to the game?
Overalls, yes. I think the cowboy hat may have been claimed by another in the group, so I think it has. I think he might have dibs on it, but
Oh, my buddy, my guy.
yeah, I think he
Yeah,
might
he
have it. But I'll have. Trust me, I'll look like an asshole, so don't worry. If that's what your
I don't
question
know
is,
what I'm gonna wear. I still don't know what I'm gonna wear to the game. I have
I
a
have
team
like a I have like a West Virginia drug rug. I can wear that.
dude, I have a my buddy who's I can't say how he's affiliated with the team, but I was in his wedding this past year and he gave me a team issued jersey.
Yeah, you gonna wear that?
It looks like a cocktail dress on me.
That'd be hot.
The team jerseys are like mad tight.
Yeah, they're always tight.
Yeah, like the sleeves are cuffed, they're all elasticy.
Wear that with some leggings, you'll get catcalled.
Okay. I've
Yeah,
been taking a lot of stairs lately. People might get me misconstrued.
don't get me misconstrued.
Misconstrued. Are you
All
doing
right, brother.
is that a we got 2 minutes left before the timer runs out.
Yeah.
Are you listening? What are you listening to music wise these days?
Nothing but '06 to '08 Gucci and Jeezy.
So you're not listening to like Glorilla or like any new.
I mean,
I think you'd like Glow. She's
I do
from
like Glow.
Memphis.
Glow's a big Steelers fan.
She is. She loves Coach Tomlin.
Dude. Listen, the jokes every week in the group chat with Glorilla, which dude is Glorilla hooking up with right now? Glow does love Coach T. If I was Coach T's wife, I'd be like, you need to get that fucking off the sidelines. Glorilla, is that our Don
That's
Imus moment?
wait.
Glorilla be posting up with Coach T all the time. I'm just saying. I'm
Wait.
just
So
saying.
on
That's like the
Imus.
that's like the sixth nicest thing you could say about Glorilla. She'd probably agree.
You keep saying it. I gotta beep it. I gotta beep it. I know it's not a curse word and it's not a slur or anything. It just doesn't sound good. You're just saying it so sharply. You're just like sticking the landing on it like Greg Louganis. I don't know why you're just like, poof, like you don't have to
You wanted
say it
this.
like that.
You wanted this. You invited this. You let the vampire in the door. You wanted this conversation.
Music. That's my Glorilla impression. Music. Coach
Yeah,
Tom,
Glow.
music.
All right. Well, I'm done
Did you
before I
guys
catch
see
the
her hear
case.
that song where she was talking about her moose knuckle?
No,
I'll
no, I
see
don't
ya.
listen to her.